All right, January 26, 2026, I'll call the Chickasaw County Board of Supervisors meeting to convene. All members are present. Along with Board Secretary Sheila Shackleton, is there a motion to approve today's agenda that was published Friday? So. Sorry. Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve the agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Approve the minutes from January 19th, 2026. Is there a second on the 19th?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to approve the January 19th, 2026 board minutes. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Approve the minutes from January 20th, 2026, Tuesdays.
So.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve the January 20th minutes. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. We can wrap up the electrical panels. So I was told, I brought it up last Tuesday, you guys, but a brand new square D panel, guts only, which I mean breakers only, will not fit in the basement panel box that we thought it would, without cutting the bottom off and extending it. And so one of the contractors notified the state inspector. The state inspector came back on Tuesday last week and said, nope, can't do it. So then between me and Dave Gorman, it's up there on the screen, we typed up anything that's in bold for the basement location. We're gonna put in a UL listed gutter on the east wall at the bottom of the stairs in the basement. We're gonna install a brand new QO square D with 42 spaces and use square D breakers under the gutter listed above. Remove old panel altogether, hook up all current circuits to the new panel. So that was changed pretty much due to state inspector not allowing what the other scope of work is gonna do. So what I've done is got this on the website, notified the 3 contractors that have showed up for the in-person tour. And if anybody else shows up, they will understand what is required now by state inspector. Any questions? It had to be done, otherwise the project would have died because of lack of state inspector approval.
Make sure, Jake, that you got everyone that you sent it to, even if it didn't come, because my fear is someone might bid without coming and looking at it, and then we're gonna have a problem if we don't have a storm.
Nope, I get that, but in the spec itself, it says to view projects, contact Dave Gorman. These projects need to be viewed in person before submitting a bid.
Well, they do need to be. Okay.
So, yeah, and I can do that. All 7 contractors were notified of the project, but I can reach out to the other 4 that have not showed up yet. I get your point. Still have time. They're not due back until February 6th. So.
Sorry, just an update.
Just an update. Yeah. It has to be done. And the reason is, I'll go back to the reason too, since the basement is our tornado shelter, the state inspector will not let somebody cut a panel cover that is not UL listed for general purpose of people, right? If it was in a locked cabinet or a locked closet, that would be a different story. So. Any public comment to the issue?
No, but let me double check, because I never asked the question.
All right, thank you. Steve, would you like to go get ready, please? Discuss the land use. Ray Armel, good morning, Ray. Discuss resolution number 126-26-08, a minor subdivision for Usher.
Basically, all we're doing, if you want to scroll all the way down to the aerial, you can see that first aerial in blue, that's the entire property. Next, they're taking the building site and creating 2 parcels out of the building site, is in essence what they're doing.
Yep, separating the house from everything else.
Yeah.
pretty much.
House separate and the ag building separate.
Yep, looks like a very simple minor subdivision split.
Yes, straightforward, there's ingress, egress easement through both building sites. And, most of the property is in flood zone, 100 year. But if you look at the FEMA map that I've got attached, and if you look at our map that has the FEMA map overlaid, the house and then one other building is not included in that flood zone. You can see those 2 X's there. Top X is the dwelling, the other X is a building. But in FEMA's records, there's no LOMA, which is a letter of map amendment that it was requested to be pulled out. But the indications are that they're gonna be asking for maybe additional area to be removed from the flood zone. That's what's referenced on the application for land division.
Sounds good, that river comes up often. Any questions? You guys all, I think you know, it was on the way to Ionia, Blacktop Road. Any questions, or is there a motion to approve resolution number 8?
Boom. Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to approve resolution 126-26-08, a minor subdivision for the family of Usher. If there's nothing else, roll call. Travis? Isaac?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake, aye. Resolution is adopted. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Got 3 minutes here, Sheila. Can we discuss the mail services?
Sure.
Discuss and approve estimate for mailing services, Inc. for the amount of $7,770.19 for cost to send out the proposed property tax notice hearing information. This is due to House File 718. Has to be mailed out, I believe, by March 20th.
Correct, and I've been working with this Mail Services Incorporated, and I've been, since we started this, and I asked them to give us a bid, and they gave us the bid of 7,000, let's see, what was it? Okay. What do I have?
$7,770.19.
Oh, there it is. Okay, and I was figuring it out, and they're $197.70, $197.70 higher than they were last year. And I found it interesting that the price was, the white envelopes went up quite a bit. So I don't know if that has anything to do with tariffs or anything, but that's what I found was the difference. But anyways, if you guys would okay it, since you let me use your budget to pay for it.
Mhm. This is required by law to submit this on behalf of any of the tax bodies, school, city, county.
And then we also have to, they ask that we pay the postage up front. So
The last year's postage was about
was it 5,000?
5,000-ish.
And so they want $5,167.64.
Or use of taxpayer money, isn't it?
Almost $1 million statewide.
Unfunded mandates.
And I think some of the new proposed law changes is trying to address and put more information in there. But we have to follow House Out 718 to submit this on, like I said, on behalf of tax bodies. And only the 3 tax bodies that I can see is the county, the school, and the cities. There's no information about the other tax bodies. So it gives them dates of the public hearing notice and application and their max levies. I don't think we can do this in-house this cheap. This is the company that we've been using for the last 2 years. This will be the 3rd year. Postage will be done no matter what.
That's right, you're gonna have that
$2,000.
cost no matter what.
They print, they fold, they sent off. Is there a motion to approve the invoice for $7,770.19
And this is an estimate.
estimate?
Yeah, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the estimate for mailing services.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to approve the estimated cost for mailing services Inc. $7,770.19 for the proposed max levy public hearing notice. Any discussion? What should be funded through Board of Supervisors budget? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Move on to our appointment at 9:10. Meeting with Chickasaw Soil and Water Conservation District. Good morning. Did you get a letter from you guys?
Did I get that to you guys? I didn't. did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same one I got, yes.
Yep, go ahead, sir. Thank you.
All right, I was just coming to beg you guys for money.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, we were going through our budget for this year at our last meeting, and I think what you guys gave us was, what, 3,500 last year?
4,000?
Or 4,000, I can't remember.
I think it was 4,000.
So we were trying to set it up if we could run a budget on that, and we were figuring out what we're gonna have to cut if we do that, and I don't know, so we're asking for 11,000. It's gonna be very difficult to run the county soil and water the same way we're doing it without taking a lot of stuff out, because we had some extra funds last year that we could roll over into this year, and that was no longer the case. But I understand that you guys are in a tough situation too. So I know basically we gave you the list of all the things that are costing us money and what we need funding for that isn't covered from the state. So we think that all these things provide value for the county. So I wouldn't come here asking if I didn't think it was worth it. So I guess that's my pitch.
Do you guys get anything for like I know you guys give out a scholarship. Do you get any matching funds from the feds or the state? That's just
No,
local dollars?
That's just local stuff.
Okay.
We like the idea of giving out the scholarships because we think that it kind of pushes kids towards.
No, I get it.
So I think last year we gave out 4 scholarships. One of them was a little bit bigger, and then the rest of them, the other 3 were $250. So $750 and then 3 $250 ones.
Yeah, any questions? We solely fund this out of RSD, which is the rural tax base. We did get 4,000 last year. Any questions for Adam?
All right.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Stay warm.
So I didn't put that in there.
All right. Go down to the opioid stuff.
Yes, I can start a meeting with at my office, so.
Yeah, so they had a meeting last week, so.
So we had a meeting last Wednesday. My office, we got an update from Pathways. They are currently doing both sixth grade and fourth grade Too Good for Drugs. The fourth graders are in Fredericksburg only, keep consistent with county funds. So they're in both sixth and fourth in Sumner Fred schools. They're only doing sixth grade in Nashville Plainfield right now, and they're looking at adding fourth graders in that district as well. And then New Hampton is still, there's no programming in there. DARE is in there, is my understanding. The city law enforcement's doing DARE, but we're gonna continue to try and work with New Hampton school districts, trying to get Too Good for Drugs in there as well. So in 2 school districts, trying to get into a third. We do have a contract with Pathways that goes to the end of the, I guess, fiscal year,
Yeah.
school year, and are paying that out of there. I think we got an update from Sheila that we had roughly $134,000 in our account. The money continues to trickle in. It comes in tranches from different groups, manufacturers, distributors, everything else. So we have roughly $134,000, and the only contract we have right now is with Pathways to pay them. We learned about some, I'm gonna butcher the name, naloxone, is that right? Naloxone, and some state funding that might be issued with that. Lisa followed up with that with our group. So we had 2 action items. Lisa presented to the group about some of her staff using some of the money for some of the program that they're doing in their office. And she asked for, or we recommended, up to $10,000 to pay for any extra time that her and her staff do, that we can cross over and actually go to the opioid account. And the second one was the sheriff presented a new app that would serve his office and can be coordinated in with public health to deal with opioid from both public health perspective and the sheriff's perspective. And I think the bid for that, a 3-year contract, if paid up front, was $28,462. So we're recommending to the board that you authorize up to $10K for public health to spend out of that account and up to $30K for the sheriff's office to spend out of that account. And I would defer to Sheila, Scott, and Ryan, who are all there at the meeting as well. That's the report.
Yeah, so the sheriff app, learned about it at the Iowa State Sheriff's Association. There's about a little over a dozen sheriff's offices in the state of Iowa that utilize this app. It's downloadable on your phone, both Apple and Android devices. And it's can be used for a number of different things, but how it relates to opioid is you can use opioid funding to pay for the upfront cost of it and the yearly fees that go along with keeping that app going. And as far as community outreach for opioid resources, alerts, submission tips, policing efforts, information hub, response coordination, I mean, all this stuff can be used as a link on there for the opioid. I can allow, as the administrator, Lisa, administrator access to get on there and also do that kind of stuff. So it can be used for a lot of those different things, which is how it qualifies to use for opioid funding.
How many staff can use that app?
It goes out to the people. It goes to the community. Yeah, so you can go on there and download it. I mean, if people in Florida want to know what's going on in Chickasaw County, Iowa, with the sheriff's office, they can download it. I mean, it's a nationwide app. People can download it. Unlimited, and it's free. Yep.
It serves kind of a dual purpose. From my understanding, you can put all sorts of tabs on that people can access.
Yes.
Jail roster, report crime, I mean, all sorts of things beyond just opioid.
Correct.
But opioid would be one of the tabs that Ryan would have on there and Lisa would have on there as well.
I got it up there. It's inmate search.
You can do inmate search, sex offender registry search. You can put sheriff sales on there, gun permits, civil process procedures. We can link it with the National Weather Service. So if our area gets a weather alert, it'll automatically push out to that app. And it depends if people have their settings set, it can come right to them immediately. Amber alerts, I mean, we can customize it to however we want, and we can continually change that.
We talked about how much information people get from their phones now. And for most people, or a lot of people, that's their only source of information. And reporting crimes, doing things people don't want to call sometimes. They're more comfortable texting, they're more comfortable going online and filling out a form than they actually talk to you in person, which is sad. But that's the world we live in, and this is a way to reach people that's their way to communicate.
We just had a 911 text come through last week, and that's one of the first ones we've had. It worked out well. I mean, so it's just like people are going.
So it's a year for a 3-year period of 3 years.
Yeah, so initially the upfront cost, one-time subtotal was like almost 8,000 just to get the app up and going. Here, get through here. If we just do the 1 year, it was 14,000, but it's a 3-year contract, and the annual subtotals
And it's better.
just about 7,000. So you can pay it all up front. Was my idea. Because honestly, if the opioid funds weren't here to help pay for this, is probably something I've been looking at. I think it's beneficial based on some sheriffs that I've talked to. A county similar to our size that's running it right now is Winnebago County. We've had a lot of success with it. Honestly, if the opioid funds weren't here, it's probably not something I'd look to pay on my budget right now. So
So I believe current year, we have 80,000 in that line item appropriated.
No, I thought we had 120,
Maybe it's 120.
because I gave a budget, and what did I say, we didn't even spend a
Yeah,
percentage,
it's-
Charlie, we've only taken like 4,500 or something like that out of it.
So this will be
Okay.
this fiscal year.
So I had, what this money
I
budget?
think our
No,
contract
that's not-
pathways is roughly 12, it's in here, it's roughly 12,000.
we pay that monthly, right?
So,
Monthly
I have
appropriate.
120,
So yeah, we have about 116,000 left of the 120 appropriated for this current fiscal year. There's enough in the pool cash over that amount.
This does a lot of different things, but it does qualify for the opioid fund.
Correct, yes. Yep. I can send you the information sheet that I got from this company so you guys can see all the things that they help qualify it to use opioid funding.
and I totally agree with you guys, I mean, I wanna talk to somebody, but my kids just text me, Mom, when you use it, just, you know.
Same thing with the school app. I mean, every school, I think in our county, has an app that they communicate with the public with. So it's just, I mean, I think we're all in a different era, but that's just the way things are moving, I think.
Getting involved the younger people, I think.
So we figured we'd pay it upfront for 3 years, because we have the money, and then see where we're at in 3 years. If it's something that's beneficial, that we still have more money in opioid, re-up. If not, if it's something we want to find in our regular budgets. So this is a way to at least prepay and not to worry about the bill coming due next year or the year after.
I think this would be good use of some of those funds, and it's just continuing to grow.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need to use some of it, so.
Get it out there.
And I did review the contract, so.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
And I put authorized sheriff's signature.
All right, any more questions on review and consider the opioid advisory committee recommendations to authorize sheriff's signature and pay up front not to exceed 30,000 using the opioid funds for a 3-year contract that would incorporate the sheriff and public health to get the word out about opioid prevention resources. Is there a motion in that?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac. Yeah, I said pretty much authorized sheriff's signature on the contract, 3 years, up to $30,000. I think, is that the final one, Ryan?
Yes.
28,462,
28,462.
but 50. Any other discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep, thank you guys.
Review and consider the opioid advisory committee recommendation to authorize up to $10,000 from the opioid fund for the opioid prevention program offered by the Chickasaw County Public Health Department.
Yeah, Lisa's not here, but her office is doing some additional programming above and beyond the pathways to doing the schools, some take back provisions, some bags, some other things that she's purchased. We felt, I guess, as a committee that her staff, if they're working on the opioid project versus public health, they could be paid out of the opioid funds. It's a way to save public health some money, and a way to use the money that's being used for that purpose. So that's what this would be for.
Is that working well in your office? I saw some claims last time.
It is working very well. Yes.
how it's being coded and paid back.
That's a question I have, how I code mine when it comes in.
Call me.
Yeah,
Yes, Lisa's very, she gives me a lot, so.
So is that, again, for this fiscal year, up to 10,000?
Yep, for the rest of fiscal year, and then we reevaluate it.
Okay.
And they're keeping track in their office of their time on it for auditing purposes and for accountability for the opioid funds themselves.
She's got a very good,
So I guess for future budget work session, what do you think we should put in for next fiscal year then?
I put at least 10,000 in.
I'll look at Scott on that, that's a broader question.
Okay,
We did talk about an employee, I think when she was up here, she talked about an employee or a partial employee to do opioid work, but I think that's a question for next fiscal year.
We have already been paying employee out of it.
Right, but I think when she was up, she kind of hinted at the fact that perhaps they could have, I know Scott may have more information.
Yeah, I think we threw the 10,000 now because we're
almost done with this
almost
fiscal
done
year.
with this fiscal year. I mean, we had to have more discussions with Lisa to get a number narrowed down, but,
Now, I have been just taking whatever's in the fund when we're doing budget work session and just budgeting that whole thing for anything that may come up.
Oh.
So, and then when Lisa came up, I had accounts that I could use for her. And there'll be an account for him to use. So, I mean, if you guys don't like that, if you wanna do just a few, not all the money or whatever, we can talk about it in the session, but that's what
Okay.
I've done in the prior years.
So this 10,000 is this fiscal year.
Right, and the discussion at our meeting was in the future, we would like to, if the auditor's office can work their magic, basically block grant it. Basically say, here's $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for the next fiscal year, you figure out how to spend it public health and how to justify for the accounting purposes that it's spent on opioid time, whatever you're gonna spend it on. Just block grant them a chunk of money, let them figure out.
It's just like Pathways gets from the
Correct.
state.
Yep, that's how we want to do it, but we're struggling to figure out how to make the X's and O's.
Gotcha. All right, is there a motion then to up to $10,000 for the Chickasaw County Public Health to use opioid funds for opioid prevention programming?
So, second.
Motion by Scott, second by Isaac to authorize up to $10,000 for opioid prevention programming offered by the Chickasaw County Public Health Department out of this fiscal year. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed, motion is carried. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
So I'm gonna need some copies of the contract and that.
Yep, I'll sign it, and then I'll send it.
Okay, thank you.
Let me roll this out, I'll give this to you.
You want the-
Later this year.
Hey Steve, could you see if Roman wants to come in? Please? I don't know, I don't remember if you want to come in or not.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of add it.
I don't have it.
Just.
You have to send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morning, Roman. Engineer Roman Lansing, review contract for Chickasaw County Engineers Office Building Project with Steggy Construction, authorized signature by the chairman of the board. That's his 13-page document. Anything shocking, Roman, or anything that we should know about it?
Nope, we're in the process of getting builder's risk insurance with Heartland, so waiting on some docs from Stevie. But
Yeah.
we're all aware of the project, it's going to sign the contract now.
Any discussion or any questions? I think in between the contractors, there's potentially some change orders that we all know about, so that'll be coming down the pike if there's gonna be an addition or a decrease to the project with some potential change orders that I think in the end will save us some money.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything out there that's gonna increase it at this time. So down here on the owner page, Then authorize the chair to sign off on this contract with Steady Construction. Is there a second?
Sorry.
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to authorize the chair signature on the contract for the Chickasaw County Engineers Office Building Project with Steady Construction. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried.
Thanks all. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right. 9:30 meet with EMS Director Joel Knudsen. Good morning, Joel.
Morning.
Discuss a memorial bench to be paid out of the EMS donation fund. Joel.
So yeah, looking at dedicating a 4-foot bench to Brock Schmidt, one of our EMTs that passed away. After his passing, we received a pretty large sum of donations. Some were directed at memorial, some were to use however we saw fit. So we thought this to be pretty fitting. Looking at dedicating it in March sometime. And this is the invoice from Full River Fabrication here in New Hampton in the amount of $1,395. Just looking to approve to pay it.
Yeah. So Joel did talk to me Friday morning. I'm not here to blame anybody for this, Joel, but the invoice has been pulled due to the name of Chickasaw County on the invoice.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it's my wife's name on there because she was the one who initially started talking to them.
Yeah, so
We just need a new invoice.
we need a new invoice.
County on it.
Okay.
Just because we cannot pay invoices addressed to somebody else.
I didn't catch that until you said something just now.
But anyway,
You guys noticed it on Friday?
late Friday night, Scott, I think, called me Saturday, or I know Travis approached me today.
And Mike could have gotten it. We would have known about it sooner, but I will have that resubmitted. Do we have to bring this back before the board again?
So this day out now, the donation fund was to have board approval.
Correct.
He brings a project like he did on Friday. It has to be on the agenda. So yeah.
So I think you can approve it today, you just submit the invoice.
Correct.
So if that's what you want to do is allow his department to spend the money you voted on today and then he just brings me the invoice.
I agree.
Yep. I just don't want to have to wait
No.
for another, cause, yeah,
Okay.
So can you bring us a new invoice today?
So the invoice won't change, just the name
just the name on it.
Oh.
And I'll send that
shipped to.
to you in a half hour after I talk with her. So,
Oh, so we can keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thank you.
Any concerns? I think he presented good information that the donors of some of those funds, it's up to what, $28,000 in the pool cash?
$29,249.
So there's $29,000 in this fund. This $1,395.
And he does have budgeted for the budget stuff out of there too. So,
Any other questions, concerns, knowing what the motion would be then to use the donation EMS fund for this bench?
Just so the public's clear that's watching, this is a separate donation fund, not out of the EMS dedicated fund.
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure. People that are listening, this is not coming out of the city's contribution and everything else that's piled in. It's a separate fund that was created for Joel's department for.
that'll be fundraised for.
Fundraised for, correct, yeah. It's not taxpayer funds.
Exactly. Is there a motion to approve the claim $1,395 for the purpose of memorial bench?
Second.
Motion by Isaac, second by Steve, to authorize the claim of $1,395 for an EMS, out of the EMS donation fund for a bench. Any discussion?
Most of the, that isn't where all that money comes from, is it? Was there more than enough that came in for that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we had. I guess I'm a little confused on what you're asking.
Well,
We've got, what did you say, 29,000
Yeah,
in
I
there?
mean, like,
29,240.
I'm just saying, if
Yeah, we
somebody
have
didn't wanna
more
donate to
cover
an
it.
event or something.
What's that?
If somebody didn't wanna donate to an event or something.
Oh, I mean, there was probably at least, I would say up to at least $2,000, if not more, that was either dedicated for a memorial or it was dedicated for our department's choosing.
Okay.
I would say at least that much, if not more. I didn't keep it track of it separately, just because there wasn't really a need to.
All right, if no other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. So yeah, Joe, just get a new one.
Thank you.
I'll have it to you in about half an hour.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, don't. Wait till. So then we go down to claims. Payroll was dated on Friday the 23rd. Any questions with the payroll claims that were sent out Friday?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Right.
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to approve the payroll claims that were paid already, prior bill, dated the 23rd of January. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Claims that included the bench then would be 191,608.15. Just note that we need a new one before the audit office does pay it. 191,608.15.
The question on that is, I see there was $700 in VA expense from the VA grant for presents. And I question whether that is allowed with the grant.
Good question. Yeah, this was brought up last week, me and Scott talked about it. In the past, I'm talking 9-10 years ago, we were in an audit report spending for no county purpose, at that time for the grant funds. I guess, Sheila, do you know anything about these 7 gift cards to volunteers?
No, I do not. Not at the moment that I can find out.
So what I've been told by your staff, and they can come in and correct me, it is for the people that drive the van to Iowa City VA. I guess I've not checked with the private auditor since Friday. If we need to ask Keith more questions or the commission more questions, I don't see the county purpose. Again, I see the volunteers, I don't like how it's coded under presence though.
Well, that was my thought. I mean, I guess if I had heard that it was for reflective coats for the drivers for the van, well, then if it was coded maybe under a safety item or something like that, maybe that is but presence under the, I just don't feel like that's probably.
Yeah, so it came from Zips Outfitters,
So if you pull the claim, it'll state 7 gift cards to Zips Outfitters, not picking on the vendor, please. But 7 individual $1 gift cards for the 7 volunteers.
for $100.
$100 gift cards, you know. Any other feeling on the board? And maybe it's okay, but again, we have to follow the ethics of county purpose. And I guess if you're a volunteer, then you get a $100 gift card, if that's their thinking. Any other board member feel differently, or let it go, or ask Keith to come up and explain it, or chairperson of the board? I don't know if the gift cards have already been received. I don't know if they've been purchased already. I suppose they're waiting on a check to get them.
Yeah, He paid for it, and that's reimbursement.
Rather than say Keith on it, this one says Zips Outfitters.
Yeah, so then it would be, they're waiting for.
They're waiting for us to approve it today. Dave, you got any issues with this?
I probably need to get more information. I think it's an auditor's question, not a Dave question, but ultimately they all come to Dave, so. But I guess I would maybe clarify what the purpose is, and if it was for something that's gonna be used in conjunction with that, perhaps that's different than $100 to Fairway for groceries, if it's gonna be purchasing things that are gonna help them in their mission.
And
Just need to clarify.
I think the
Which
clarification.
reflected
Right,
difference.
is it for the mission of the VA as opposed to something above and beyond or outside of the mission? I don't know, and maybe we just need to clarify that, a phone call probably can clarify that, be my guess.
Does anybody have Keith's? You guys want to get the clarification before we approve claims?
Yeah, I think so. I think we should.
Yeah, that someone, she was
Come
on top of me,
down
we'll
and
do
call
that this
Keith
morning.
and see what the general purpose, county purpose is. Or somebody. Yeah, I don't know who coded presence.
I don't know. And that's a different one.
Well, it all comes out of the grant though.
I know, but it's I don't know that we have that line item in other departments. Maybe we should call somebody.
That would be best.
Right. Change the name of the line item.
All it says is under their bill, a part number, gift card, $100, gift card, 7 of them, at $100 a piece. And then on the description of the county claim, it says Zips Outfitters present for volunteers. And then up on the VA grant, he coded it under uniforms.
Well, yeah, that's a strange place to get a gift card too, but.
But they have a clothing outfit.
They do all
That's
kinds
the
of
old-
repair.
Right.
Yeah,
But how are you gonna restrict that to what they actually use the gift card on to?
exactly.
If you have a gift card, you can go and use it for whatever you want.
Correct. But if the purpose is different, then let's be transparent about the purposes. Make it easy.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. I mean, it's one of those things that we get these things emailed to us late Friday afternoon and it
Well,
doesn't get us.
when I seen it, I mean, I just felt like it's probably just coded wrong, but it just.
I was trying to still get a hold of these, so.
We'll go back to them. We got that. We'll go back to claims once we get a clarification.
David, okay with prior bills?
That prior bill. Yeah, there was not a motion made yet, so don't have to vote on it yet. Going up to the last agenda item, I believe, that is specific. Discuss payment of the $33,572.07 to the EMS fund for Chickasaw County due on April 5th. So that is what was made last week. Wondering where you guys would like to see that funded out of. We have area to fund that out of county betterment, or we have area out of RSP. The specific numbers, I can find them here. So under current RSP funds, we had 108,577.
Is on 2100. He said it's for the volunteer drivers.
Yeah.
Drive the van.
Yep.
And hopefully they'll get a coach. This is their-
Hey Keith.
Yep.
All right, you're on the board, you're on YouTube Live, so the question was made in claims, what is the county purpose of the $700 for those gift
I have a
cards?
hard time carrying you.
What is the county purpose of the $700 for those gift cards?
It's for the DAV drivers.
Okay, so you say there's a county purpose then for them?
Well, I don't understand what you mean by county purpose.
So anytime we approve a claim, yes, Keith, anytime we approve a claim, there has to be a noted of a county purpose. It is for the volunteers that drive the van.
Yes, it's like to reward them for helping us all the time.
Okay,
Helping the veterans.
just trying to document the county purpose, so, no, that's a good answer. Not trying to play a quiz game here. Any questions on the board? What can they use this gift card for?
Basically, they get their shirts and jackets that say like VA driver, volunteer driver for DAV van. Just shirts and jackets or shirts or light jackets, whatever.
Okay, so they can't use it to buy a chain or come along?
No, it's for clothing.
Clothing only?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that help, Board of Supervisors?
Yeah.
All right, thanks Keith, that's all we needed to clarify.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Don't we have in our claims a county purpose? I thought we added that many years ago, that each department has to declare the county purpose.
Are they right now in school?
Okay.
Yeah. And in their mind, it's probably, we just need to go through and
Clarify
Yeah.
more informal.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the payment. We'll go back to claims. So, 108,577. And then if you look at the county betterment fund, we had,
So you're not going to.
I'm just looking, no, going back to the bill that,
Okay, I'm sorry, I just
Yeah.
misunderstood.
85,000. Nope, that's revenue. Expense.
So the betterment that we had for the payment was $160.
160.
Yeah.
So the current budget, 108,577 was RSV earmarked, and 160,000 local option sales tax. Remember all the wish lists that came in for a potential building project for county conservation? You guys can say, I guess, where do you guys want to fund our claim of 33,572? They both have room.
There's how much we have in there.
Yep. I really personally think RSB could cover that whole thing. Unless you guys want to split it, half and half. Current balance in pooled cash is 221,702.18, minus a little bit of a dock that's coming out for the Howard Woods.
Rural services.
Yeah.
Because I'd be leaning towards 50-50. When we budgeted for 50% out of RSP and 50% out of one betterment.
That's next year, but the current budget, we do like a 60-40.
Well, I guess how we're budgeted, I would say we should be consistent with that.
So the percentage of how we budgeted it,
Travis, you got any way, since you submitted these claims to the cities, they have up until April 5th to pay. I don't think we should pay ours until April 4th. Just so we can.
that's a claim to go.
Just throwing that out there, because I know
That's a separate.
whenever claims that before the April 5th
Okay.
are due. But that's just my 2 cents of keeping money in our county funds before we put into a restricted fund.
Yeah, in the past, we put it in
right away.
right away.
And we got some phone calls about that. So just when this is due, get it to us a week or 2 weeks before. Any feeling, Travis?
I probably would take it, I mean, we got plenty of room, RSP. Then the cities can't complain that we didn't pay our work.
Yeah, we're paying the 33,572. We are.
I'd agree, I think we should go to RSP. I think there's some other projects that we can utilize better money for right now, since we're not doing a full payment.
Guys, again, anything?
It's not okay either way, but, I mean, they're both healthy enough, I would say. I'd probably say 50-50 as well, but, or 60-40, however.
Current RSB is 900,000. I know it still needs $1 million from property tax owners in March. We'll have that further discussed here in a little bit about RSB, but I'm gonna guess there's probably a 40% ending fund balance out of RSB. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with RSB paying the whole 33,572. Leave some room in county betterment for some specific rural projects. So Sheila, if you want to prepare a claim in March sometime,
Do I need a motion?
you guys okay with the consensus? You want a motion to be paid out of?
Yeah, this is the consensus. I'm
Yeah,
okay
the
with it.
consensus, so.
Consensus of paying our claim of 33,572.07 out of the RSB fund towards EMS 2080.
Okay, for the claim.
Just wait on it a little bit though.
What? Then just wait on
Don't
it.
give it to us for 2 weeks. Thank you. Discuss budget amendment number 3 for fiscal year 2025-26.
So we are working on this TIF, and if everything goes through, we should have a bond of $3 million. And to give permission to spend it, we would need a budget amendment. Along with, I noticed that there was an error on the amendment I did last time. I probably shouldn't have acknowledged the revenues from the flex payment. The truck conservation, if you guys allow him to purchase a truck, it would probably be about 55,000. He was talking about a heat pump for 6,000, or excuse me, a heat pump for 15,000, and then he needs some repairs done for about 6,000. That's what I have so far.
Correct. So this one might be a little bit early. I'm trying to get the bond in there for the 3 million. If we do indeed award a project like on February 9th, letting I think is February 12th. We won't get a bond done until the 23rd of February from a bank. They might need some mobilization fees, say in March or April on that B22 project. Trying to work with county conservation. They meet on the 3rd of February to open up bids for the heat pump. So on the 4th, we will know a better cost of the heat pump. Remember in his letter that we got, he said about 14,000 was an estimate. Remember the white truck that he's potentially could be ordering will take 12 weeks, trying to get it here in this fiscal year. You did talk to the private auditors, the
Yeah,
brown
thanks.
truck would be just a transfer.
Yep, we would just do a transfer.
So dates of February 3rd is his county conservation meeting. And then if we do a public hearing on March 2nd, just throwing a date out there, then on March 3rd, his board can go out for a state bid and order a truck on March 4th. So publication would be then February 19th and 20th. This is just the start of a budget amendment number 3. I know we might be 4 to 5 weeks early, but I think a letter can be sent out to the department heads. We're almost into January. Some departments are coming back with some give back of ending fund balances. She doesn't not have those all put together yet. Some of them are coming back with, I guess my question is, no other department has asked for one yet. But what Sheila asked to be presented was the bond, 3 million, fix the error that was the $12,000 flex, and then the 3 line items for county conservation. Add a motor vehicle, add the heat pump, and then if we wanna give something for that transmission, that was like, he budgeted 2,000, but I think it was close to 5,000 additional cost for that transmission. So today was just the start of budget amendment number 3. If you guys have feelings, could the county conservation have special meetings in March or April to purchase something? Yes. If you guys want to kick this down until in April or end of March public hearing. But I don't advise Chad to purchase something without the approval of us in a budget amendment. Any feelings? Give a letter out to the department head and see where they're at and see what next week's brings.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't need to vote on any notice until February 16th.
So you guys are okay with sending out a sewer? Okay.
But tentatively, these are the 4 line items that need fixing or ask.
Take that bond, is that for B-22?
Yes, B-22 road project.
I thought so, I just wanted
Yep.
to.
I guess between me and Sheila, we haven't heard anything else that being requested. Nobody's presented anything. Even with local option sales tax, you know, it was just the dock at Howard's Woods, and that's in there already. Maybe Chad wants to do something with that money in, money out from the donation. That's a question for him if he got it.
Well, if he wants to put it in this.
Because he was gonna put it in,
Fiscal year,
he was gonna put it in,
Budget.
land acquisition.
Yeah, no, he's gonna put it in, general basic, cause he wants to be able to spend it on it. He needs the money, he has to spend the money before he gets the money,
That was the grant for the woods, the trees.
100,000.
I'm talking about the boat dock, or the fishing dock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just, I think you guys okay with the letter being sent out to see?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, my earliest would be a vote on it February 16th, publish it 19/20th, so that Chad would have approval for March 3rd. But like I said, that could be kicked down the road a couple weeks if it needs to be. So yeah, consensus is to send a letter out to see if there's any needs for fiscal year 25-26.
Okay, thank you.
Back to claims then, in the amount of $191,608.15. You guys heard the clarification on the gift cards / purpose.
I'll make a motion to approve claims, 91,608.15.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to approve the claims in the amount of $191,608.15. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed, motion is carried. Committee assignments, anybody have anything?
I had a FMC DCAT governance board meeting on January 21st. We went through bylaws, updated them, and voted on and approved that. Of course, it was a pretty short meeting again. Just talked about realignment update, and there's a town hall meeting coming up. And so where's DCAT going? Because I don't know if there's gonna be funding going forward, so we're gonna That's about it.
I didn't see any prior openers.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Maybe there is, okay, we'll go back to them, I forgot. Any more committee assignments? I had a CSS meeting on January 21st, 2026. Sad day for I think the state of Iowa, but we laid off our last contracted employees, the financial officer, the HR, and the director. Actually, it's our last meeting. So the last meeting lasted 23 minutes. CSS is no longer in business. CSS is no longer fiscal agent. The sad number is what got brought up at the end when we approved claims. We, as a CSS agency, gave the state of Iowa $2,734,945.90. That check was wrote out and transferred on December 31st of 2025 back to the Iowa Department of HHS. Some people believe the bylaws read one thing, the state believes one thing. So the state of Iowa got a nice healthy check from CSS Mental Health Region. Things are done. Hopefully they spend it in the best way possible for mental health in the state of Iowa. We thought we were very responsible fiscal agents of tax dollars, and they are taking it over. So any questions? We will have potentially one more audit of the last 6 months, but that won't be done until August, September. But as of that, I would then, as your chair, to erase the CSS committee assignments of myself, and I think Travis was the alternate, but that committee assignment is no longer needed under the County of Chickasaw. So the committee assignments where it says CSS, there's no longer a purpose for us to be on that committee because there is no committee anymore.
So I can just take it off.
CSS is no longer a thing. As of Wednesday, there's no more reason for us to meet. We have no money. We have nothing.
They took all that.
Could easily be more committees that end up that way.
I think so.
DCAT goes away.
DCAT potentially. I mean, we all know what workforce did. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I just hope that people that need that kind of service can get help and the money's there to help them. Anybody else have any committee assignments?
There was a Central County meeting Thursday.
There was.
A lot of talk on property tax reform. Talk about wage, what everybody was doing for wages. A little bit of driveway discussion, bridges. Anything else?
Yeah, I think a lot of the talks were about if any of the 3 property tax reform bills go into law, how we're gonna receive revenue from outside sources.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be billing people for this service or this? By law, whatever, right? I thought the wage increase and the budget discussion, all 6 counties have, I think, the same issues. I'm not picking on anybody in this county or other counties, but Winnebago brought up a very good point of 8 of their 9 courthouse staff are deputies and only 1 clerk. You can help me, Travis.
Yeah.
The wages were $38 to $42 in Winnebago County for those 8 deputies. But the poor clerk is down to 24, 25. So they're looking at different avenues. Supervisor Shirley made a comment. Remind you, this is a public meeting. That was a public meeting. Wait until those guys retire. But so they're looking at cutting cost. I thought this was the big beautiful bill of what counties are doing to provide to employees of that 12-5 individual and 25 unqualified overtime. And exactly what Sheila told us. It's only on Was it earned 40 hours?
It's earned. Yeah, you have to work,
Worked.
yeah.
So when you
It's
have
not
engine,
on vacations,
No,
time
so
or
we-
anything.
and it can be hard to put that code in there.
But Donna's been really on top of it.
She's working with Tyler. A lot of those counties work with Solutions, and who knows what's gonna happen there. But
And that's because
you're gonna have two
sometimes when
different
our
codes.
guys, some of our people at 8 hours, they'll go into overtime if they work, but then they
But
might
the
take a
federal law-
vacation day. You have to work at least 40 hours to get vacation.
And I know we've been down this road, you got a policy here that says anything over 8, but the Fed's law is 40 hours. So you might not qualify for that, no tax on overtime, if it doesn't follow the federal law. So yeah, very good meeting to go to. Yeah. Any other committee assignments?
And that was both you and Sue.
Man, Travis.
We had a Heartland trustee meeting, Thursday, the 22nd. We discussed some legal issues. The first ones I can discuss with you, the last ones I can't, but, we've moved to doing a lot more Zoom meetings. And so we had a lot of legal discussion of what could be viewed on Zoom, what couldn't be viewed on Zoom. And so we've reached out to the attorneys to prepare that, because there's a lot of things that we see at the trustee meetings that get passed out, we look at them, and then they're picked back up after the discussion is held. We're not allowed to bring them back for you guys to see. So we're trying to figure out how to do that over Zoom, basically. Then we reviewed the attorney fees, raised them from $200 an hour to $225. We discussed child protection guidelines for the county conservation. This is not a Heartland policy, but Genesis, one of our reinsurance companies, is asking that the Conservation Board adopt this policy. And Chad would be, I believe Renee and Chad will both be getting copies of that policy. Discussed the back to work policy. This came up in a recent Zoom call, I guess, with Heartland. Judy was not happy with the policy that Amherst and Cooney's had sent to Renee, and suggested that we, the Heartland Board, reach out to Brent Henders and work on something that covers all 10 counties as far as the back to work policy. We have an update on the renewal and how it's going. Property insurance still looks to stay flat. Cyber insurance also looks to be flat. The big question mark is liability, auto, and law enforcement. And it is looking likely that there's a 15% increase, which was in our packet we had, so it's not an addition to what we've already seen. Renewal deadline is February 27th.
They said they were gonna get their stuff to us by Friday, and I never received it. Did they say anything about it in the meeting?
I didn't say anything about that.
Because when I did the Zoom, they said that we would get it the 23rd, and they wanted it back in February.
I didn't say anything about that. OSHA 10 training is March 24th to 25th at Holmes Murphy's office in Waukee. Anybody in the county is eligible to attend that. The fall seminar, we discussed some of the programs we may hold. Newly elected seminar is tentatively scheduled for November 13th. And the December meeting will either be the 10th or the 11th, which is the one all everybody counties invited to. And all seminars for Heartland this year will be at the Ranning Center. It will not be moving around between the other buildings. So, also, Thursday night at a Floyd Mitchell Chickasaw landfill meeting. It was our annual full board meeting. We elected had officer elections. Nothing changed there. I'm still the chair. Dave Swenson is vice chair. Jerry Yeager from Charles City is the treasurer, and Christian Fox is the secretary. We elected a new at-large executive board member, Jerry Engelhardt from Floyd County. The exec board stayed the same. Finance committee stayed the same. Elected human resource board, we did add Lloyd Campbell to that board. We approved our audit report from Garner and approved the comprehensive plan from HLW, which is on file in the auditor's office now. Approved financial statements. And then we discussed, I brought this up before, the IPERS audit, and was gonna require all the board members to become employees if they continue to get fees for going to the meetings. We voted Thursday night that the only pay that would be handout would be just for mileage, so nobody on the board will be getting paid to attend the meeting anymore.
How's that vote?
There were 2 nays. Otherwise, that's pretty much about it. We did take in just a little over 32,000 tons of trash last year.
32,000?
Wow.
So you had a meeting at Heartland on January 22nd and then another one on January 22nd for the landfill, correct?
You brought up a good point about Zoom. So the 6 county meeting, I didn't know this was happening across the state or the country. It was an IT discussion about being very cautious who you invite on your Zoom conference call, and do not let them be presenters. Because there was a county that had somebody earmarked as a presenter, and you know what got put on that screen that is not supposed to be on that screen. And everybody that was watching saw that inappropriate video or screenshot of something. So if we're gonna start using electronics more, who's ever the host, be very cautious of who the presenters are. Even if it's a close name that somebody that you trust, it finds out to be somebody else, it could be a mess. So caution to that on electronics. If there's no more committee assignments, go back to prior bill claims in the amount of $5,946.01.
So moved.
Was there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
All right. We got left is budget work session. We're to this point again every year where we've seen, I think, everybody's budget request. I said this in the department head meeting. I don't know if the owl plays games with us, but this is where we have open discussion. This is where something might come up that might offend or hurt somebody's feelings. Please take it under context that if we want to be transparent, and we are, something might be said and might, like I said, hurt somebody's feelings, call us. And see what we meant or said or do. That was also brought up, Travis, at the 6 county meeting. It's easy to take things out of context. It's easy to say this and that. Maybe that's why a lot of people ain't running anymore for elected offices. So, Sheila did some work. Yep, the request for non-departments.
So we gotta finish up budgetings, entering this stuff, so I need to know what amounts you guys want me to put in the books for the people that came and asked for actual budget requests.
Before we get started though, I think we need to see where we're at for RSP. So I think today is like an RSP discussion.
Oh.
So I think we need to look at that sheet, Sheila, where it says RSP total. Let me see if I can find that one.
Are you on my thing?
No, I'm with the ones you submitted to us on Friday.
I didn't put the spreadsheet on.
Yeah, you did.
Nothing.
Well, not the spreadsheet. So anyway, this is the budget that has been entered and requested. This is strictly the sheriff's office, RSB. This is the libraries at that 3%. This is hazmat, rural recycling hauling, FICA and IPERS for the land use administrator at 8,500 on page 2. Transfer to secondary road fund, 2.331. That is the 100% of $3.38. It is our half of one payment for the ambulance of $70,501, which gives a grand total.
And I put the wrong number in for soil conservation.
Yep, she put in.
I put in what was here for how many years, and then he asked for.
Yep, he asked for 11,000. So He did ask for 11, remind that, so 4,000. Just trying to show a picture. Total request is $2.745981 million out of RSP. It's an increase from last year of about, it's a decrease from last year of about $16,000. But just gonna remind you, the max levy for RSB, 3.39806, the new max levy, can't go up to 395 anymore, brings in 2.568. So we are short about $200,000. Now, can we use our any fund balance? That number has not been generated yet,
I have it
or
on.
you have it on the thumb drive?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me see if I can open it then. Do you think it's this one? Open folder to view folders?
Yeah, and then, so go to the top.
This one?
And then in there. And then down here over here. Anyway, there's your,
Rural
yeah.
service.
So,
You said those again, sorry, just Jake.
Yeah.
2.568 million is the revenue brought in from taxes,
Proper tax,
and
yes.
2.745 is the current asking.
Yes. How do we share this one now? Remember last time we couldn't share it to the board?
where's your pen?
So let me minimize this.
Because we have to go.
You lose it all the time when
Where was it? It was something on here.
it was a 3 dots.
How do you share that stuff?
I go here to cast.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do on that one. Okay, let's see. Now let's see if we can get this up.
So that's up there, but then you go to doc, it doesn't broadcast.
Why can't it?
I don't know.
Let's do it, leave this up and then go to cast and see if we can get it. Because that's how I always opened them before. Okay, so office is done.
We have to use board TV. Cause this one's up there. But then when I go to Word,
Or, no, it won't go up there. Here, I'll open it too.
email it to me. A lot of the big jump board is from the evaluations going up. And the secondary road fund can collect that 100%. That's where a lot of it came from. Because if you look at that last bottom line item there, it says 2.148 last year, 2.331 this year. That's that transfer to secondary road fund. If you guys see that up there. Because even the ambulance went down by 35,000. The sheriff's office got moved into a different area. That's why the code down here is all zeros. And then 105, 14.7. Let me look. Yep.
Okay.
You know how to make your screen bigger?
you open it, go to open with,
Yeah, open right there,
no,
up in the middle.
open it with Google Sheets, and you can
See if
blow
that
it up.
comes up. Or if you just download it into your, well, I don't know, we have problems with that.
So you can't get that one to open now.
Yeah,
Let me download it this way.
and then just open it up. See if that works out.
See, that won't let me bring it up either. I gotta stay in my email.
Then hit function and hit the plus sign up here.
Oh, function and plus, will that be bigger?
And it should blow up the screen. Maybe not. Decent.
Which one?
Function, and where's the plus right here? No, it's not gonna go that way.
Anyway, we can print them off too. So rural service cash balance as of July 1st of 25 was 765. We're gonna add the property tax revenue 2.6. Total is 3.3 million. Subtract the expenditures yet to be paid. Sheila has an ending fund balance of 606,636. But now remember, we just did 32,000 for the ambulance, not the 110. So that number will change. I'll add a little bit to RSV.
And then plus because we had that, what is it, horticulture? We had 110,000 in there, and you said,
Oh yeah, you can't use that.
yeah. So that needs to come out too.
So rural service balance would be 825 plus or minus some. Add the revenue tax of 2.6.
And that's the full amount of here.
That's with gas and electric. So, like I said, this is the first day to get all these numbers put together. Ending fund balance next June would be 889. So I think what we're saying is there's a lot in RSP. Remind you, when we finished the year, we had a balance of,
When we finish the year, this would be the balance.
yeah, 765, which was close to like 35%, 30%. So again, do you guys want to use ending fund balances to balance a budget? Just a question, right? Going back to the worksheets of rural service expenditures. $2.745.
Actually, that should be, if you put conservation in there.
Yeah, I put it in at 4,000, but if you guys decide on 11,000, that's gonna up that a little bit. So that's what I need.
So that's what we got from RSP. So let's go back to the non-department request. What sheet was that one?
Spreadsheet.
So Department 99s. I was gonna bring this up too, and you guys heard about it last week, but lease agreement to radio communication, we had to go up to 19,100. Just letting you guys know, that is an additional cost because we, and then I own board. I'm just gonna say it, won't go out and buy tower sites. So this board is paying $19,000 a year for rental agreements. I was never, you gotta find different options. I'll put it that way. 7,000 for council on aging. Is that what you guys wanna give to council on aging? This is the local event center. Last year we gave 2,600. I guess, how do you guys want to proceed with this? You guys see the numbers, you guys see the total request. Where's your goal? A 2% tax asking. Do we want to go there? Maybe, maybe not. We'll be lowering the levy rate down to 3.26, would only bring in 2.4 million then. But that is a 2% on RSP. Or do you want to stay at a revenue growth of 5.36 with our max levy.
And I just need these numbers to be finished, to finish processing all the budgets so you guys can see the big picture. Because if I don't know what to put in, like you could see with soil basics or soil, I put in what we normally did and
So going down this sheet that's on the screen, they wanted 7,000 at the event center. 2,400 was requested for the Northeast Iowa Area on Aging. That was the Meals on Wheels and all the other stuff they provide. Northeast Iowa Community Action went 35,306. Last year we gave them 10,000. Riverview Center requested 5, we gave them 3. Helping Services was 5 requested, 5 last year. Foster grandparents went 5, didn't get nothing last year. Administration services, that was for the TIF projects and urban renewal plans. We got 30,000 in there,
and you guys had about 65 or 75. in there
65
last year.
current.
Yeah,
First.
I figured we weren't gonna be using that as much. That's what we wouldn't pay for
Yeah.
a tip of it.
And then moving down to some other Eastern Tours, RC&D,
And we don't have anything with the RCMD,
watersheds. I think Paul was coming up maybe next week.
hopefully.
Pioneer Cemeteries wanted 7,000. So again, is there any movement on any of those requests to make the bigger picture? You saw the bigger picture minus, yes, soil and water already.
I'm sorry, you confused me.
Yes.
You're talking RSB and now you hop back into GB with all those other ones, correct?
That's all, that is all on. Yes, they're non-departments though. Correct, Dave.
But RSB is gonna pay for soil and water, but all the ones you just referenced would be out of GB, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you hop back over.
Yeah, you are right. So they all fall under non-department though.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't know what the total pie is for GB requests
You
yet.
do not yet.
Not until they tell me what to put in. We know what
We have
they,
a
we know what the requests are, but I don't know what they want me to put in.
Does what they wanna put in there depend upon how much money you have available?
So yeah.
I mean, sorry, I don't mean to
No,
interrupt your conversation here, but last year we slashed all, county and part of it, slashed all those because we figured we were gonna have a huge deficit. So do we know where that number is? Even if we imputed what they wanted, like we do for the regular departments, do we know what that number is?
No,
Like we did for
because,
RC.
no, we're early yet
Okay.
because of the issue of re-estimations. I think I can fairly say that some departments have not got that number back to you yet. But example, correct me if I'm wrong, one department called the treasurer raised his revenue by 250,000. So that alone throws a very good cushion on revenue from, don't quote me, was it 400,000? Now he's up to 650.
No, that's pretty, I don't remember.
Yeah, no. And that's why I hate that all, because we don't have all the numbers in front of us yet, Dave. But when he comes back with a 250,000 plus in revenue, that will fund all these non-departments. Right?
So I guess, and I'm not saying how to do your job, but
Yep.
I guess my comment would be on behalf of those 99 departments, like the 99 non-departments, we call them 99ers, they got cut last year. Wouldn't you want to wait to see how much you think you're gonna have before you determine how much you're gonna give each of them?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But you have all the numbers for RSP today, right? So,
We do, because it's a very restricted fund that can be.
so back to your original question, do you want to run a deficit in RSP or do you want to balance your budget? I think that can be answered while you're waiting for GBGS, right?
Yep. With those requests that fall under RSP.
Right.
Which
What non-departments fall under RSP, the libraries?
The library,
libraries, land use, administrator. Soil and water, we heard this morning. And then the sheriff's 25% of their deputies. I'm missing anybody else? Recycling and,
Hazmat.
hazmat. Yep. So about 6 of them.
And then obviously.
Secondary road fund. was asking for 2.3 million roughly.
The sheriff's is 25% goes to.
I think there's a 15, I was thinking it's one of
15. Yeah, I'm not for sure what it is, that's a portion.
Is this one we're gonna add up to?
So I guess what do you guys, I mean, like I said, we're early.
I was just,
We're,
I'm sorry,
our critical spot is what our max levies need to be, right? That is due by March 5th. Yeah, go ahead.
so should I just finish putting in, and I do have Paul's letter, so I do know what he's asking. And before he
Presents.
sends and that, and then, cause I'm pretty close to being done with having the big picture. We were just gonna go over
We were gonna go over the non-department requests.
yeah,
Just so we can get those narrowed down, but if you guys wanna keep the request in there. Some of them are asking for where they were at 5 years ago. We'll put it that way. One request that we really didn't know was the Big Four Fair. Never really came with a number, but they wanted to go back where they were 4 or 5 years ago.
so I put 8 in there.
You put 8,000 in there?
I think I did, yeah. Let me see here. Yeah,
So some other need to know information is county betterment then, right? The only county betterment expense is the half payment of EMS at $7,501. You know, do we do a building project for county conservation? Pool cash is showing a very health fund with approximately 7,500 coming for the next 12 months. So about 90,000 plus the, what's the balance rate, 221? So those are the things that we don't need to miss is any potential, going back to Scott's comment 2-3 weeks ago, building moves, consolidation,
well, do you guys want me
open
to put,
mind about county betterment.
yeah, do you guys want me to put in a number for you guys that you guys will have to spend in there? Because the betterment, if you go to my tab on, that'll tell you better about where you're at.
Which one?
Well, I don't know if you can bring that one up.
I can't. That's
It was the one that I emailed you.
Yeah. I can't bring that up either.
You can bring that one up?
Oh, it'd be very small.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I need to just use it on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the, lost, you know, if we, at the end of this year, on the June 30th, I have that we should, if we spend everything that we have in there, which is,
They're not gonna spend the ambulance bill.
no,
So,
so that was basically the ambulance. So we should have, so that would be 160,000, so we should have about 320 in there.
about 320 at the end of next fiscal year.
So do you want me to put, so there should be like a balance of 320 in there? So do you guys want me to put that you guys are gonna spend 200,000? I mean, you don't have to put it on anything, I can just put it towards you guys that you can,
Do a potential building project outside of
yeah, or something.
corporations.
Or do 250, what do you guys think of that? Which company, came up there?
I think we need to be looking towards something for conservation. They're, building out the old landfill is bad.
It is. I think it's a good place to use local option sales tax when we have a fund of 320,000 sitting there to build a cold storage or partial heated storage.
Chad kind of talked about doing phases, and he just do cold storage with the option to going forward to heat part of it.
So do you guys want 250 in there for a potential building project for county conservation using local option sales tax?
Yeah, I'd be fine with 250.
Travis, okay with that?
Yeah.
So local option sales tax, put a potential project of 250 in there.
Okay.
So then capital projects, if we're good on lost.
And then roll will just keep everything at their asking, so.
So capital project fund is a little bit, current balance is,
Yeah. Oh, are you looking at your forecast?
Yeah.
1,500.
327,000. Land rent will be coming in March and November of about 25,180, again in March of next year too. So the only expense that we have used out of there is the cooler on top of this courthouse. Is that your number, right? 176?
Yeah,
By so low.
because it's,
The only expense out of there is the other half of the chiller.
I took that home.
Yeah.
So, but I told you you would probably be adding back.
Yeah. I'd say there's probably 250 plus rent in capital project right now for next fiscal year.
And you don't need to have a project on it. I just need permission for you to give me, so I can put that you're gonna budget that amount. Because as long as I have the service areas and everything and we budget it, you can change it to departments, that's okay. It's just we need to have permission to spend it. So if you wanna give me permission to, spend how much, about 250, did you say?
That's what's in there.
Okay.
Unless we want to keeping it for another window project, concrete project.
And you don't have to spend it if you
No.
have it budgeted.
Otherwise, we have to do a budget amendment.
Right.
Correct. I guess, Scott, do you want to go into details of where you think we should discuss about buildings, or if there's any discussion on buildings again?
Well, I think we all know there's plenty of projects, plenty of things that need fixed. This really probably doesn't fall under necessarily capital improvements, but, one that's probably coming up next fiscal year is when that office moves out there, what is the plan? Are the supervisors moving over there? And if so, what do we have to do to get that room ready for us to move over there? Numerous times been talked about gutting possibly the north end of the Heritage. And maybe moving Jeff and Dave out there and selling the LEMC building. But right here at the courthouse, we've got, we're gonna have an empty room there. We may or may not do something with next fiscal year. We've talked about handicap parking in the back door. We know there's already a concrete project out the north side of the courthouse. There's plenty of things to do, capital projects wise, I think. We just need to put a list of what, to me, I guess we just need to put a plan together. And I know it's always tough to try to plan because money gets involved. And then the plan falls apart, but I would like to see us, try to sit down as a board and have a plan, maybe a 5-10 year plan of how we're gonna tackle some of these.
And we can always add more money to capital projects, if there's a healthy ending fund balance, you could take say 250 or 500,000 out of the ending fund balance and put into capital projects. But that's where the people say, if you don't have a plan in place or a project in mind, why are you doing that? So my point is, we have a very healthy capital project, but what projects do we want to get done in what order, if any?
If you guys gave me a vote, I would like to see the handicap thing fixed around the courthouse. If I had a vote. I think that would be small enough just to get our feet wet and we ready to go on the other projects.
So, yeah, we got so much to get done, but
So do you want me to figure out the amounts in there? I think I have to have a rough draft.
for capital projects.
Yeah, and then give you permission to spend what we can right now, and you guys can revisit it if you wanna change it.
But see, that's the money that's in there currently. We can always put more money in if there's other projects. I'll just say this, what I know, I think our ending fund balance is gonna be a lot bigger than what we think.
Right. And so, I can do a transfer too.
And that's what I'm getting at, transfer from ending fund balance GB into capital projects. But I am not a person, you guys heard this with the conference board, as a savings account, if we don't have a set project in mind. How much would it cost to get that one ready for an agency or for a county office? 50,000?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna take a lot, but I think it's probably gonna take some.
I did hear one thing, I should bring this up now, Travis. There is a presentation at the last ISAC meeting that since the assessors have their own levy rate, the counties are actually charging their assessors for room and board in their county buildings. And I think some counties were doing that. So, not saying we are gonna do that, but I think we have the Heritage Center where we have a lot of nonprofits, so. I guess what does the rest of us think about expanding the Heritage to be our second biggest county building for agencies and nonprofits? I guess if it wasn't the supervisors or elections going in this room or that room to our east, what else would we put in there? Because I know some feeling that's sitting in this room right now won't come up here.
You got that right.
And I understand the reasons. You know, I visited with the treasurer the other day. He's remodeling that office a little bit, getting some new furniture, took out the glass this weekend. Helped haul a lot of filing cabinets down to storage. Might have a sale shortly, soon. You know, can the driver's license station go over there eventually? You know, and then who do we put in that office? And I think the courthouse is not being organized like it could be. If this is our courthouse, right? I don't know, with the engineer's office moving, I think we're down to half full. How can we fill it up? We pay the same heat bill as full or empty. So, same thing with the Heritage. That building is still being heated. Doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 20 people. Just looking at efficiencies. And trying to help the auditor with numbers so we can have a better picture of getting the request in and then see where we're at.
Well, like if you want to assign it to a project, I guess to me, top priorities are probably fixing the step situation outside the north door, the driveway, and potentially looking at the handicap accessibility back there, just because we do have a lot of early voting here at the courthouse, and I think that handicap accessibility goes a long ways with that. those would be probably top priorities of mine anyway.
And then I think the third one at the courthouse would be trying to figure out who's moving the next door and if this is gonna be the location for early voting, so they have better lighting, a little bit better equipment position, so people can come in and vote
Oh, yeah.
in this area than in the rotunda. It's very dark out there.
Oh, it is.
So,
I agree totally.
just ideas, like again, we gotta throw ideas around if, nothing's set in stone, we'll put it that way.
And then, are you guys okay with me budgeting as much as what's in the fund balance for opioid?
I think max that out,
Yeah.
at least we have the authority every year to,
Okay,
the vote has to come back to us anyway, so.
yeah, okay, just making sure. And did you wanna talk about this, okay?
Yeah, we can, yeah, we're throwing out everything today. So Denise sent us an email this morning on the,
I'll make a copy for that.
yeah, go ahead. It was sent to Travis and myself and Sheila, but she got us at an increase of a 2.53. I guess I can read the email quick. Travis, you got it close by or?
Yeah. I have a tax year 7/1/26, IHCP renewal. Trust renewal is 2.9%. Only change in your pricing is 2.91 change in your Walmart rate.
Thank you.
Fees and funding have not changed. EBS has asked for an increase in their fees, we declined that proposal. So there will not be an increase in fees. Renewal slightly under the 2.91.
Yep, so, the last paragraph, she said, I've spoken with many of you regarding your current PSF funding level. In some cases, we have provided an additional with alternate funding. I think we still need to talk to her because she did not adjust any of the PSF funding on the renewal.
Yeah.
So it still holds at 94.50 for single and 216.20 for family. But here we go again, you know, we asked every department to put in a 6%. What are we gonna do? You know, do we just take the 2.53 and see where the PSF is gonna be at? She hasn't got us those new numbers after we put in $72,000.
So I had, so we had a budget 920 for singles
Yep.
and 1690 would have been the county's portion for families. It turned out to be $885.17 for the renewal for family, or for single, and $1,627.19 for the family county portion. So the difference between the two numbers are gonna be about, let's see, $3,492.14 from what I had on budget, we had on budget and what actually happened. So we're gonna be overflated, or we're gonna be over by that amount between all the departments. So after you decide, if you guys wanna let me know, to let the departments know if you want me to have them put the correct amount.
But that's the same thing with PSF. I think Travis or myself needs to reach out to Denise and say, do we want to go with that 6%? Or if not, what about a little bit more movement on PSF?
Yeah, because by my calculations with the new rates and everything, we should get, what they're gonna put in the fund is $124,637. So is that enough when we're spending over 130?
That's, yep, you're talking about the 130 that's paying the claims. We're not putting enough in yet to pay the claims. We have more claims than what we put in. So eventually, is there another quote, one-time payment, or do we just put some money in there now so we don't have to do that again? So that came in this morning, bright and early, 6 o'clock this morning, so. Good renewal rate, I think. It's just what do we want to do for PSF? And I'm kind of glad that EBS and her staff didn't ask for an increase in charges. So, anyway, that's that news about the county health insurance.
Okay.
So any more discussion on capital projects? You guys want to just see what any fund balance is before we transfer some money into capital projects? You guys have the ballpark of where that fund sets without doing any project. I say around that 300,000. Any more talk?
What are you saying, 380,000?
Roughly 300,000 to the capital project fund,
Okay,
minus the cooling tower that we still have to pay for.
so you're saying that you want the budget 300,000, or are you gonna transfer?
I don't know. So right now, yeah, no, I get it. So that just sits in the pool cash, right?
Yeah.
If we don't have a project in mind, it just sits there without a public hearing to put something in there. We have no authority to spend. So is there any kind of project you guys want to put authority to spend in capital projects? Do we want to transfer some additional funds? Those are the numbers to look at the whole picture of the county. Otherwise, I guess you really just get all the estimates back from departments. I'll work with it this week if you guys want to assist me on a phone call, but we need some help with the departments that we manage. Our own, are we gonna give any back? I can do a pretty good job. All the buildings, is general service currently under the courthouse 51, is that gonna give back potentially 200,000? I think as of right now, it will. But those are the numbers that she was still waiting on from some of those department heads that got you the numbers already. So. If there's anything else, help us out. I know a couple department heads reached out to see if they are gonna be invited like last year to a department head meeting. Those are the things that we need input on, right? Some departments follow the guidance of a 2% growth. Some departments did not. Sometime next week or the 9th, you guys want to have a department head meeting to show where they're at or where the county's at? We're not quite there yet today. You guys just want to be the CFOs and make those decisions on your own?
I think once we get everything together before we can really make that decision, I think.
You guys want to see some kind of adjustment on health insurance then, or do you want to just keep it in the budget at 6%?
My personal opinion, I think we need to keep it there for now.
Good.
And it's just a total of $3,400 from all the departments that it's overlaid.
So I guess I'll ask the question then, as a taxpayer and a department head both, two overarching questions that I would want answered at a department head meeting or as a taxpayer are: number one, are you able to balance your budget, TV and GS? And if not, get a plan to balance it. And if so, what then do you do with the reserves that you have that you don't need to set aside every year?
My goal is to potentially, with all the funds that I see now, GS is our only lever rate we can move. And GS will probably go from a 1.8 down to a 1 like it used to be.
Straight one?
Just throwing out a number. We used to be at a 1.1.
Well, I'm just looking.
But just because the issue is you're gonna move a lot of things back in GB. Because that's where the cash is. Only certain things that come out of GS. So GB is gonna fund a lot of things, either with ending fund balances or the tax collection of 3.39 on a lot higher evaluation. Because that alone is gonna bring in $200,000 in new money, just because we have to be maxed to trigger GS.
But what's your asking rate go up though?
That is a good question, because I'm trying to figure out what our tax asking is.
Right.
Do we want to stay at that 2% tax asking, like there's a potential law change? Or do we wanna keep,
How much your budget request gonna go?
yes,
You have 6% for health insurance. You have one department that came in and asked for 7, several asked for 2 or less. I mean, to me, as a taxpayer, as a department, that's the overarching questions I would wanna see solid number, not solid, but reasonable estimates for is, hey, are we getting to a balanced budget? And if not, how much longer can we sustain with our reserves? And if you are getting to a balanced budget, what are you then gonna do with your reserves? Are you moving them into, like you talked about earlier, capital project?
Correct.
Those would be the overarching questions. You kind of know, you already have the questions and the numbers in front of you for RSP.
yeah, RSB's
Yeah.
only like 5 or 6
Right.
requests out of it, so.
Right.
It's kind of the finishing states I get.
It is, I'm ahead of you,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But,
I need those numbers to put a
but,
finished double
but in
picture.
a month from now, at a department head meeting, that'd be the question I'm gonna ask. And a month from now, I would think a taxpayer that comes to you is when they get their letter is gonna ask that.
Mhm.
Hey, did you guys balance your budget? And if not, do you ever intend to balance it? And how long can you not balance it and run off the reserves?
Right.
And if you did balance it this year and intend to balance it, keep it balanced in the future, whether or not you're limited by 2% or not, what are you gonna do with all your reserves?
I agree.
Yep. And I think messaging, that's
Yep.
gonna be the key for you
It
guys.
is.
Well, one of the new proposals out there is you won't be able to allow up to 10% ending fund balance. If that one happens to be the one that passes.
They tried that with mental health regions, and they restrict the funds given out to those regions at a 10% ending fund balance. And let me tell you, you're waiting on their payment, or here, property tax collection.
I'm just gonna say, hey, you can pay your bills for the first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pay payroll, pay insurances.
So if that part of one of the proposals do pass, I think they all need to go back to county government or city government and figure out how are we gonna pay bills if we're gonna have the ending fund balances.
Well, how do you keep your upgrades
the
of your
intent is-
infrastructure?
The intent is good, but it's a cash flow problem, not a revenue and expense problem.
Yep.
That's my opinion. It's a cash flow problem.
Because a lot of taxpayers do not pay early, so September comes around and pays us half the tax levies. It's gonna be tough paying claims July, August, September. So. Yeah, if there's anything else you guys need, like I said, this is early. We're still here in presentations. I think all the requests are made though. It's just trying to put in what they requested, like soil and water from 4,000 last year, now they want 11. Not blaming them, just putting in the true numbers of the request.
And did you guys have time to think what you want to do with the EMA?
We'll let Isaac take care of that Wednesday night.
Okay, because I need that.
I believe, I can just say, I believe our consensus was a per capita, and I believe the budget still says 130,000 from us, so. I'll let it out, I can't make it, so Isaac, good luck. Anyway, future agenda items then, I guess. We do have a public hearing, I think on the February 9th for the not to exceed the $3 million loan. Otherwise, there's not much for the second that I know of, except for budget. We're trying to get Paul up here from RC&D and the watersheds. We'll send a letter out to department heads for the budget amendment number 3 request, if any.
And I'll just can I send out a second letter, just reminding them about balances?
Yeah, that's a big piece of the pie is if the revenues have changed in a positive, negative, and if they foresee spending every penny of their budget.
So, are you guys gonna give me yours too?
I'll work on ours today. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh,
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve to adjourn at 10:59. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion is carried.
Oh, I know.
No, we're just-